Around the same time that the children would come.
What time did the children come down?
Around 8:30, 9.
So Mr. Jackson was coming down at 8:30 or 9 twice a week?
Yes.
The other days of the week, was breakfast taken up to his bedroom?
Yes.
So most of the time he was just eating a cold cereal type breakfast. Is that correct?
It depends. It depended on what he wanted. You know, what he felt like eating that day.
But you'd get there at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And when you arrived at 8 o'clock in the morning, was the gate usually shut?
Yes.
How do you get in the gate?
There was a buzzer at the gate, so I'd buzz.
Okay, and that buzzer is, was it a code that you could just push it and the gate would open, or did you?
Yes.
Okay, so they would answer, you tell them who you were, then they'd open the gate?
Yes.
Would somebody come out to greet you?
Yes.
And would be, like, would it be Fahim or Alberto or?
One of the security guards.
Okay. When you went there on the 25th, you buzzed the gate? Somebody let you in?
Yes.
And came out to greet you?
Yes.
Did you park there in the driveway or did you park by security?
I parked by the security booth.
So you drove around the right side and parked adjacent to the security booth?
Yes.
And you'd go in the kitchen entrance?
Yes.
How would you get in the kitchen entrance?
I'd have to knock on the kitchen entrance door.
You knocked? Mm-hmm. Okay, and was the door always answered by, say, the children?
On this particular day?
Well, what was the normal to that door so you could get in the kitchen?
Well, sometimes it would depend. The housekeepers were there, the children.
Okay, so the housekeepers were there at 8 o'clock?
On that day, no. But
Okay.
On occasion, yes.
Okay, on the 25th, you buzzed, gate open. Who escorted you in?
Security.
Who?
I can't recall the name.
Was there? Who was it? Who was generally there? What list do we have to choose from as to who it could have been?
Objection vague.
Sustained. The partial answer stricken.
Do you know who Fahim is?
Yes.
Could it have been him?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you know who Alberto is?
Yes.
And you don't know whether or not it was him. What other people were there at security usually in the morning at that time?
It varied. Day to day, it varied.
Okay. Who else besides Fahim and Alberto?
I don't really know the
Do you
names.
recall any of their names?
Excuse me?
Do you recall any other
No.
names? Okay. Did you have the ability to phone that residence?
No.
I mean, what if something happened to you and you were not able to go to work? Would you have been able to phone and tell them you weren't able to come?
I was able to phone someone, yes.
Who would you phone?
Michael Amir.
Okay, is Michael Amir Williams, that is the only phone number you had?
Yes.
So everything kind of went through Michael Amir there, is that correct?
For me, yes.
And there were no landlines inside the house that you were there?
I'm not aware of that.
And you probably didn't have a phone contact with the security trailer,
No.
except if Michael Amir was there?
I had phone contact with Michael Amir, and that was the only contact that I had.
Okay, so you wouldn't have known how to call Alberto or Fahim or Michael Jackson
No.
or the nanny inside?
No.
Okay, now, on the 25th, you got there and you were escorted in by someone, and when you knocked on the door, was it the children that answered?
Yes.
And then you went in and went to work,
Yes.
and you were preparing breakfast. children have breakfast that day?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And they ate that day without their father?
Yes.
And prior to 12 o'clock, had you seen Dr. Murray?
No.
Had you seen Mr. Jackson?
No.
But you were aware that the security trailer was occupied?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once you get in the door, the entrance to the kitchen, or as the entrance that you used, how far was it to get into the kitchen?
A few steps from the door.
From you to me?
Excuse me?
Was it as far as from you to me
No.
as we are positioned right now?
No, it wasn't that far.
Shorter?
It was shorter, yes.
That distance is about 18 feet or so.
Okay. And once if you went out that kitchen door to the security trailer, how far would that be?
That would probably be from where I'm sitting to maybe the middle of the courtroom.
So you could have walked from the kitchen out the door to the security in the same time that you could walk from where you are to maybe out this door here.
Yes.
Now, you were paying attention to time, and it was about 12:05, and you saw a frantic Dr. Murray.
Yes.
What caused you to think that he was frantic?
His actions.
Well, describe his actions.
He was flustered. His eyes were big. He was screaming, and he was panicked.
What exactly did he say?
He yelled, "Go get help. Go get security. Go get Prince."
Now, how old was Prince at the time?
Approximately 12, 13.
Okay. Did you think this was an emergency type situation?
Yes, I did.
What type of emergency did you have the feeling that this was about?
I was very uncertain of what type of emergency, but Dr. Murray's actions were very panic-stricken, and that led me to believe something must be wrong.
Okay, so when he said, go get help, get security, get Prince, what'd you do?
I dropped what I was doing, and I ran into the den where I saw Prince to go get Prince.
How far was it to get into the den?
Probably from where I'm sitting to where you're standing.
Okay. And then,
15 to 18 feet.
and what did you say to Prince?
I said, "Prince, Dr. Murray needs you. There may be something wrong with your father."
And after you explained that to him, what did Prince do?
Prince and I both turned around, ran back into the kitchen, and he approached Dr. Murray, and I went back to work.
So you came into the kitchen and Prince went with Dr. Murray.
Yes.
But Dr. Murray was up the stairs?
He was on the stairwell.
Okay. Now, he never came all the way down to the bottom, is that correct?
No.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
When you got Prince, was he in the same position that when he asked for Prince?
I don't understand the question.
Okay. Dr. Murray would help. I think you, on the diagram there, you put down CM. When you wrote those initials CM on that banister, or next to the banister, is that the location where Dr. Murray was when he asked for help?
Yes.
Okay, and then you went and got Prince, and you came back out. You went to the kitchen. Prince started up the stairs.
He approached Dr. Murray.
Okay, was Dr. Murray still on the stairwell?
I can't recall.
Excuse me?
I cannot recall.
Did you see Prince go up the stairs?
I can't recall.
And you went back to work.
Yes.
And what What were you doing at that time?
I was preparing lunch.
Now, I want to ask you why you did not get security.
Because at the time, what I saw was a human being in front of me, and that was the best choice I could make. There was a human being right there, someone that I could approach immediately, and that's why I went to get prints. I thought that if I took the time to go out from where I was standing, walk out from the kitchen, go into where the security booth was, who knows if security were there, if they had left. I didn't want to take that chance. So what I wanted to do was to make sure that this urgent situation was taken care of. And I saw prints, and that's what I did.
Okay, you got prints. You complied with that request.
Yes.
Now I want to know what your downside was to going outside and getting security.
Objection made.
You understand the question?
Yes, I do.
Overruled. You may answer it.
Prince was in my eyesight.
Prince was going up the stairs with Dr. Murray, wasn't he?
I went to go retrieve Prince when he asked me to go get Prince. When I went to get Prince, I went back to work.
He says, get help, get security, get Prince.
Yes.
You got the third one of his choices.
Yes.
Objection.
Why didn't you get...
Objection.
Just a moment, please. What's the objection, please? You don't have to look at counsel. Look at
Misstates the
me.
testimony.
What's that?
Misstates the testimony.
Overruled. You may answer it.
Repeat the question, please.
No, let me draw back a little bit. You saw Dr. Murray frantic, eyes wide, yelling. You thought something was wrong with Michael. Is that correct?
Yes.
He's asking for help. He's asking for security. Did you think that a 12-year-old child was going to be able to assist this doctor with a problem with Michael?
Objection. Pause for speculation.
Goes to the witness's state of mind. Overruled. You may answer it, please.
I did what I was told. And
You what?
I did what I was told, and I went to get Prince.
And this all happened at 12:05.
Objection. Misstates the testimony.
Sustained.
What time did this all happen?
Between 12:05 and 12:10.
Were you aware of security coming in at a later point in time?
Objection made.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, I was.
How much later was it that security came in?
I can't recall the time frame. It was minutes. Minutes?
How many minutes?
I'm not certain.
Do you have your cell phone?
I looked at my cell phone once.
Did you ever look at your cell phone again that day?
No, I did not.
Now, you heard the crying and the concern of people in the downstairs that were crying.
Yes.
Was that before or after security came in?
That was during.
It's while they were coming in.
Yes.
When did you next see Prince?
I saw Prince when the children were all gathered together and we were in a circle in the foyer.
Before or after security came in?
After.
Would you estimate that 5 minutes or more elapsed between when you went back to work and security came in?
Yes.
Did you hear a knock on the door for security when they came in?
No, I did not.
Was Rosalind there when you arrived that day?
Yes.
And where was she when you arrived and you were in the kitchen? Where was Rosalind?
In the morning?
Yes.
She was in the den with the children.
Okay. When you went in and got Prince, did Rosalind say anything to you?
No.
Did you say anything to her?
No, I did not.
And when you told Prince to go help Dr. Murray, were you yelling or just talking?
No, I raised my voice. Mm-hmm.
And after you talked to Prince, told him to go where Dr. Murray was, did you ever see Dr. Murray again?
No, I did not.
So you never told Dr. Murray that you were not going to get security?
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Flanagan, thank you. Ms. Brazil, redirect.
Nothing, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. May Ms. Chase step down and be excused subject to recall, Ms. Brazil?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Chase, thank you for your
Thank you.
testimony. Give me a moment, please. Don't discuss this case or the facts with any other witnesses until we have finished the trial. You may step down and leave. However, you are to remain on call, and that means you're subject to recall until the end of the trial if necessary.
Thank you.
Thank you. May I see counsel?